NOPD Crime Lab director says her priority is to get a forensic DNA lab back in New Orleans as soon as possible.
It has been 17 years since the NOPD has been able to test its own DNA, creating a major backlog of cases and problems for crime victims and their families. Natasha Robin has the story.
Initially, what we want is forensic biology.
Not having a DNA lab in the city of New Orleans can affect crime cases from the arrest to the prosecution.
She was my sister. She was the most caring, loving person there is.
73-year-old Linda Fricke's family is dealing with a tremendous loss. Police say 4 teens carjacked, beat, and dragged Fricke to her death back in March of last year. But prosecutors are still waiting for DNA results in the case.
They did what they did. I want justice.
It's been since 2005, and most of our work has been outsourced to Baton Rouge.
The NOPD's lacked the capacity to test DNA samples in-house since Hurricane Katrina. Instead, DNA samples are sent to the Louisiana State Police lab in Baton Rouge. But there's a serious backlog there.
And I know that they're balancing the entire state.
Dr. Shamika Kelley is the newly hired crime lab director, and she says her top priority is now getting an in-house DNA lab. The accreditation board is expected to visit the lab in August and decide whether it will be able to gain accreditation. Dr. Kelley says in that time, she wants to get the DNA unit up and running.
So we're in planning mode right now.
The first thing will be to hire people.
We met with civil service last week, and by the end of this week, we're going to have open positions that we can hire for.
We were able to develop DNA positions that will support the DNA unit. So we have 15 positions that'll be posted toward the end of the week this week, and so we'll start the hiring process. So my plan is to get the right people in the right places.
She says next, they'll order equipment needed.
So at the same time, we're going to configure our crime lab to be able to do the DNA work. So that's going to be a massive planning endeavor.
So here's the max point.
Dr. Kelley says the goal is to have a database decision-making lab in place to apply for accreditation.
We want to make sure that we're able to have DNA here, forensic biology here. It'll create positions, and it'll, help our citizens hopefully get answers in a much, quicker fashion.
Even with all the planning and work to open up the new DNA lab, Dr. Kelley says there's no timeline on when that will happen. In New Orleans, Natasha Robin, Fox 8, Local First.